Hello, everybody. It's Lori. Um, oh my gosh, I have had the most massive technology difficulties in the last hot minute. Um, I have no idea if this is going to the writing feast. I certainly hope it is. I saw one or two people there. If you're watching this and you're hearing me, please let me know. Um, I tried to anticipate any technology difficulties and didn't anticipate that the whole platform wouldn't load. So I'm just going to get on my Facebook and make a little post and say, I'm here. I'm broadcasting. All right. So, anyway, the cool thing about this is I have many backups. This will end up being on my blog, and this will end up being for Facebook Live this evening. So I see someone saying it's broadcasting. My guess that might be Nina, but anyway, if you can please leave your initials or your first name. Facebook is not showing me who's commenting, so that would be lovely. If you want to stay private, that's totally fine too. But all right, I'm going to take a little hot minute to breathe here before we start the class. I just want to show you that I have my NARS Jungle Red lipstick all ready for the broadcast. This is very important. I have my 3-grain raspberry muffin. See a little raspberry in there? That's what they look like. These are so delicious. I also have this was supposed to be tea, but it turned into coffee. I have my coffee, and I don't know if you can see this very well, but this is a cup that looks like a library checkout card, and my dear friend Jenny gave it to me. So I love that. All right, so let's get busy on this. If you are here, Karen Jeans, I recognize those initials. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. I'm just going to talk to you. Okay. So, all right. So we are going to get started. And I just want to welcome you guys here. It would be nice if you have your workbook and something to write with, because we're actually going to write during this workshop. And give me comments if you have questions. I will check back to scroll down on the comment feed so I can be responsive to you. And just let me know what you need, and I will do that as much as possible. I'm scrolling down. Okay, cool. All right, so that's a little welcome. So my goals for this class are for you to enjoy writing and just give yourself the gift of having some time to write. I know we all have intentions. Oh, I'm going to write. That's going to be cool. But unless we have it scheduled into our life a little bit, it's kind of hard to do. That's the feedback I get back from family writers classes all the time. You know, people come in the evening for those classes. They're so tired and exhausted. And then afterwards, they're like, oh, it was so nice to have time to write. And that's embedded in this class. That could be either a total win or a total fail today. So we'll see how that works. Please give me feedback about how that goes for you. The other thing is, I would love to create a nice little writing community that's supportive for all of us. All right, the first thing we do as writers is we need to warm up. And hey, Karen, can you let me know, can you even see that slide very well? Because I can go to this version, but I don't think you're going to see that much more. So just let me know whatever you would like. So we're going to do a little warm up, and this is on page 7 of your workbook. It's the currently page. And each time we have this class, I'm just going to do 3 little things we're currently doing. This is all over Pinterest. You can find it, kind of, I think, comes from a bullet journal idea. And you can just find all these cute, darling little pages. We're just going to slap some words in there. So I filled mine out. The ones for today are currently reading, loving, and weathering. I was being a little silly there, a little cute. That's basically my way of saying with an ing, what's the weather today? So for me, I'm currently reading Digital Minimalism and Atomic Habits. I'm like 30, 40 pages into each of those. And honestly, I'm dying for some fiction. I kind of have this theory that fiction just keeps me happy. It doesn't have to be happy fiction. I just think my brain likes those stories. And I'm a little bit on information overload right now. So reading tons of basically self-help books, I don't know, getting a little tired of that. But anyway, those are really two great books, that the Digital Minimalism and the Atomic Habits. I'm also reading all these haiku books because I'm totally into writing haikus right now. I'm currently loving Whittard English Rose Tea, WHITTARD. The English Rose is so delicious. I just love it. The weather, it's supposed to rain today, but I mean, like 5 minutes ago, I'm looking out the window. 5 minutes ago, it was lovely and sunny, and now it's starting to cloud over. So for anyone watching in places where there's snow, please stay warm today. If you guys do this currently, please put your responses in the comments. You can do that on the blog. You can do that here right now. You can also do it in the watch party tonight, and I'll add some more in there on the watch party tonight too. But that will make this interesting if it's not just me yakking at you guys, but if you guys start participating in whatever way you want to do. All right, so that's our little warm-up. Now we're going to go to the inspiration, and that is on page 8. And I picked a poem by Ralph Fletcher, and it comes from this book, A Writing Kind of Day, Poems for Young Poets. This is a great teacher book. I love this book. This is such a great book about the writing process. And so I would really encourage any of you to get that. But the one I picked today, it's called Poetry Recipe. Ralph Fletcher, not only is he a great writer, but he is a wonderful writing mentor and writing teacher. I've got lots of his books, and these shelves are right here, that teach me about writing. So here is the poem I want to share with you. It's on page 8 of your workbook. Seems like my friend Xander can write poems in his sleep, good ones that win prizes. I asked him how he does it, and he gave me his recipe, which I followed carefully. 2 similes, 1 metaphor, 3 unusual words, and a dash of rhyme. But my poem came out so bad, I felt like feeding it to my Venus flytrap. So I threw away his recipe and tried one of my own, a poem about my grandma. For my first ingredient, I chose her warped cutting board that always smelled like garlic. I wanted to add her wrinkly elbows and the way she hums while kneading her bread dough. I picked up my best friend's pen that I've kept in my drawer ever since he moved away. I took a deep breath, opened my notebook, and started to write. And the reason I picked this piece for you is I want all of us to kind of just take a deep breath and figure out the way that writing works for us. Plopping in like 1 metaphor, 1 simile, whatever, that may work for someone else, but you have to find the way that works for you. And there are a lot of different ways for us to do that. And I want to encourage us to write without fear and just get words on the paper. So that leads me to, let's see here, our first big idea. So our first big idea, which is, let me move my papers here. Our first big idea is on page 9 of your workbook. And I love a quote from Ralph Fletcher. And he says, "Here's the secret of writing. There is no secret." I mean, I just think that's so true. And the big idea I have here is just write a lot, then write some more. Ralph Fletcher goes on with this quote. It is misleading to think of writers as special creatures, word sorcerers who possess some sort of magical knowledge hidden from everyone else. Writers are ordinary people who like to write. They feel the urge to write and they scratch that itch every chance they get. Okay, so I don't have like tons of empirical research to back up this little story, but I know in my bones it's true. I won't name specific names, but my daughter had a teacher who kind of taught the polar opposite way that I teach writing. But you know what? They wrote every single day. And I think that made all the difference. And it's kind of a comment that puts me out of a job as a writing teacher. I can show everyone all these tricks, and I think that's super valuable. But at the end of the day, I think it's really write some more, write some more, write a lot. That practice, it's kind of the way we teach reading. You know, read a lot. To learn how to read, you just got to read. The other part, you know, it's not right here, but it's being in a community and reading your writing to other people. I mean, I think that's a big idea, like bonus big idea. But I think those things are just huge, So, all right. So the second big idea is have faith that bad writing will lead to good writing. And I love this quote from William Stafford. He is probably one of my top 3 favorite poets. You'll be seeing one of his poems later in this class, in this series of classes. Here's a great quote from him. There's no such thing as writer's block if your standards are low enough. I mean, that sounds like kind of a joke, but I think it's kind of true. Just get words on the paper and keep going. Oh my gosh, we have 4 viewers. I am so stoked. Please give comments. Tell me you're alive. Oh my gosh. Okay, maybe scrolling would be really good. This is so totally awesome. Someone said, totally agree on the fiction thing, that fiction makes you happy. Carrie, my friend Carrie, loving the stage of motherhood. She has the cutest kids. Reading Discipline Without Drama. You know, I'm so glad I'm not there anymore. By the way, if you are not seeing this comments because you're watching this on my blog or you're watching this on the watch party, I'm responding to comments right now. Let's see. Oh, Nina's here. Yay! And I have someone who said Helen Keller. I think I know who that is because that was one of our jokes from playing Apples to Apples. No. Okay, reading Old Man and the Sea and a biography of Helen Keller. Okay, awesome books. Okay, I just need to learn how to reply to these comments. So that was our little aside, but I just want to be responsive to everyone who's here because I'm so excited you're here. And I can't wait for other people to join us in the party later today. Okay, so back to my comment. Have faith that bad writing will lead to good writing. Write bad first drafts. That's what will lead you to the better stuff. I know this for sure from all my experience writing. Nina, I'm glad you're reading those 2 books. Awesome. Yay, those are awesome. Peter Elbow, I have some quotes on here about this big idea of having faith that bad writing will lead to good. One of the mindsets that you have to have is this idea that it's no wonder that writing can be hard. Your brain's kind of doing 2 things at once. One, you're having to be super critical about what you put on the page. And at the same time, you're having to be super open and loose about what gets on the page so you actually get something on the page. So there are these 2 things happening in your brain. But if you kind of separate those out and begin with the loose and accepting part of just getting words on the page and not judging yourself and saying, you know what, I can change those later. It's the cool thing. That's the place that we're going to hang out in this class. All right, so let's move on, and I will remind myself to scroll down on comments. We are going to write under the influence of a wonderful piece, And I use mentor texts all the time because they kind of give you a head start. They help you get writing on the page. So I picked one today. It's called The Delight Song of Sowai Tae Lee, and it's by N. Scott Momaday. And there's a typo in your workbook. I said M. It's actually N. Scott Momaday. And the reason I picked this is back in the maybe early 90s, late 80s, I started going to writing classes with my mentor. Her name is Joni Chancer. And this is really one of the first pieces we ever did. She showed us to do ourselves as teachers and then with our students. And I would do this almost every year at the beginning of the year. And the reason I would choose this piece was it brought the children's lives into the classroom because we talked about things that delighted us in our lives. So I want to bring your lives into this little writing community that I'm trying to create here. And so that's why I picked it. And it was a nod to my mentor. And I know Karen Jeans has probably done this one. She's on this. And Karen Havoc and Tanya. These are friends that I've taught with. And I have a feeling we all did this piece. And N. Scott Momaday is from the Kiowa tribe. It's a Plains tribe. In 1969, he won the Pulitzer for fiction. He was the Oklahoma Poet Laureate for 2 years. And this year in May, he's going to be honored with the Ken Burns American Heritage Prize. And I will put links for some of that information later if you want to see more. Before I read this piece, I do just want to tell you, Sowai Tae Lee is his Native American name, and it means rock tree boy. And then at the very end of the piece, which is on page 10 of your workbook, at the very end of the page, you'll see, I stand in good relation to the daughter of Sentante. Sentante was a daring chief from the 1800s of the Kiowa tribe. And so I just wanted to make sure you understood those words before we start. So you'll notice this is a list poem. Every line starts with I am. And I'm just going to read it to us, and then I'll follow up with some writing instructions for it. All right, so we are on page 10 if you want to follow along. And here we go. The Delight Song of Sowai Tae Lee. I am a feather in the bright sky. I am the blue horse that runs in the plain. I am the fish that rolls shining in the water. I am the shadow that follows a child. I am the evening light, the luster of meadows. I am an eagle playing with the wind. I am a cluster of bright beads. I am the farthest star. I am the cold of the dawn. I am the roaring of the rain. I am the glitter of the crust on the snow. I am the long track of the moon in a lake. I am a flame of 4 colors. I am a deer standing away in the dark. I am a field of sumac and palm blanco. I am an eagle of geese upon the winter sky. I am the hunger of a young wolf. I am the whole dream of these things. You see, I am alive. I am alive. I stand in good relation to the gods. I stand in good relation to all that is beautiful. I stand in good relation to the daughter of Sentante. You see, I am alive. I am alive. All right, so let's move on to our writing instructions. These are on page 11 in your workbook. I'm going to scroll in the comments to check from anyone. Does anyone have any questions or comments yet? I know there's about a 10-second delay on these before I actually see them. And now that I know to scroll, that really helps too. All right, so I'm going to give you instructions for our first piece. We are going to do a copy change. We're going to call it, you can call it My Delight Song. You can call it whatever you want to. And by the way, whenever I give you writing instructions, basically you can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to give some suggestions, follow or not. But my goal is that you do some writing. All right. So what I want you to do first is think of people, places, or experiences that delight you. Kind of sit in that place. Ask yourself, what delights you? So this is going to be a list poem. Our lines are going to start with I am. If you want to borrow at the end of your piece some of Mama Day's last lines, be totally welcome to do that. You could do, you see, I'm alive, I'm alive. I also like the line, I am the whole dream of these things. That might be a nice way. Of course, you can end it whatever way you want to. Now, let me give you a few more details about this. Okay, so I have some sample lines. And so, for example, something that delights me is writing. So I'm not going to write, I am writing. What I might do is, I am the pencil that's asking to be sharpened. I might take something from writing and write it in a little more poetic way. I love skiing, all right? Instead of saying I am skiing, I would probably do, I am the skis cutting through deep powder, all right? What I encourage you guys to do, I haven't made a whole list of things that I'm going to write down. If you're comfortable just like quickly doing things that delight you, maybe you guys who are watching could put one thing that delights you in the comments right now. That would be awesome. My dog sitting to my left, she delights me. Doing these lives and talking to you, that delights me. So I can make a little brainstorm list. What I'm probably going to do, well, especially because I'm talking to you right now, is I'm going to just start writing. And I like that surprise. I like that feeling of, oh, where did that thing that delights me come up? So, and sometimes you'll see that one line will make you think of something else, oh, okay, great. This is awesome. Nina, flowers delight me. See, so I just saw that Nina wrote flowers delight me. Ooh, and looky, I can even put that on there. Aren't I tech savvy right now? Let's see, now can I even get it off? Okay. Oh, here, I am the crisp air of Big Sur. Okay, awesome. I don't know who did that, but that is so awesome. I love that. All right, let's see. Look at that. You guys are awesome. I love these. Okay, so I like sometimes, let's say, so who, I'm not sure who the Big Sur comment is, but I am the crisp air of Big Sur. That might make me think about a time I was in Big Sur, and I might write a line like that. So anyway, just let your lines fall on top of each other like that when you write your pieces in a little hot minute. Okay, so we are going to do this, though, as a quick write, all right? The reason we're going to write fast is that's a way to outrun your internal censor. The part of you that says, I'm not going to do this well, this is not going to be good. We want to just shut that down. Okay, Carrie, I am a hot cup of coffee sipped on in peace. Okay. Cheers to that, sister. All right. So clearly, this is going to be an awesome group. You guys get this. Okay. So quick write. What we're going to do is we're going to write for 7 minutes and 49 seconds. I'm going to time us on my iPhone. I'm going to give you like a little 1 minute warning. I'll hold up my phone and say, okay, you guys, 1 minute, and I will put the sound back on. So you will hear our little timing. Please be open to anything that comes. Don't worry about spelling or punctuation. No one is really seeing this unless you put it up here. So just let your pen rip. If you get stuck at all, what we do in my classes is we either just write XOXOXO until you're unstuck, and then you go back and cross that out later, or you can write I'm stuck until you're not, okay? So does anyone have any questions before I say ready, set, write? I've got one more slide to show you. I see a comment from Nina. I am the flower that opens in the morning light. Awesome. So you guys, these are perfect examples of what we need for people to do for this. Perfect, perfect. And you've got Carrie's comment right here. So awesome. These are great. And here's our Big Sur one again too. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. All right, so let me move on. Okay, so I'm gonna get my phone, kind of get yourself situated. I'm gonna get my phone to do the timer. When you see my head go down, it means I've got my clipboard with my paper. I'm going to sit here and write. This is where it's either going to be totally awesome or kind of weird because it's going to be quiet. We're just going to be writing. I know myself. I'm not very good at staying quiet. So the second I say I have to be quiet, I may totally start interrupting. But just know the audio isn't messed up. This will be the sound of writing. Anyone have questions? You guys good to go? All right. So you can have that Delight Song mentor text right in front of you. By the way, I have one of my favorite pens and I have a favorite journal, but when I draft like this, I need a big piece of paper. So I've just got red, yellow lined paper that's on a clipboard. And I'm just going to scoot back a little bit and start writing. All right. So ladies, I think Carrie and Nina are here. We've got a couple more viewers too, but we're going to start. So I'm turning on my phone. I'm going to do the timer. You guys are so awesome. I'm so glad you're here. And I've got 0 hours, 7 minutes, 49 seconds. I'm actually going to do 6 minutes here. So that gives us a warning to stop. Okay. And then we'll have 1 more minute. You guys ready? Okay. Right. You guys doing okay? I just can't stay quiet. Keep writing, keep writing. I'm a little stuck. I'm gonna write I'm stuck, I'm stuck. Okay. Okay, that means we have 1 more minute to go. You can finish up or read through your piece. 1 minute. I'll be talking. All right. Start finishing up that last line. Okay. How did that go? I hope that was a good experience for you. Um, it is really weird for me kind of writing like this. I'm so used to being in a room filled with people. One of my favorite parts of my writing classes, well, the number one favorite part is when people share, and I am actually quiet. But my ultimate favorite part is when I look out and I see everyone's heads bent and everyone's writing together. I teach family writing classes, so usually it's parent and child pairs. And it's just so amazing to know that stories are getting out on a piece of paper and then they'll come out of their words and be shared. So, anyway, what I would like us to do right now is find your cherry line. And so if you go to workbook page 12, you'll see a space there for you to write down the line that you love the most in your piece. And the reason I'm calling them cherry lines, I'm kind of having a food writing theme here. When you have a sundae, there's always that cherry on top, that little final touch. And so we're, for this class, just going to call them cherry lines. And if you can just go through your piece right now and find the line that you love the most and put it in the comments, if you'll be so bold, that would be great. And if and I'm going to do it too. And I'm going to type my line. You might hear me typing, and I'll show it, and then I'll show yours. But that should give you guys a minute to just read back through your piece. Here's my actual piece that I wrote today. Usually I'm a lot messier when I write. You guys are looking for your lines right now. That's what I'm doing. Type them in if you can. Okay, I think I found one. I think I'm going to type it. Here's my cherry line. I am haiku, capturing small moments. I'm really into doing haiku right now. So anyway, if there's anyone else, if you guys want to get your line typed into a comment, that would be so awesome. While, I see one. I am the cloud shapes floating above me. I love it. I love it. Beautiful. If there are any more, that would be great. Tonight, when we do the watch party, I'm going to write another piece, and I'll put some more lines in too. Okay, so I will keep looking for golden lines. I usually often call them golden lines. I just slipped there for this class, cherry lines. So what I want to do now is just give some suggestions. We are almost to the end of the class. And I see Carrie just put a line in. So I'm going to end on those lines. But I want to talk about, if you want some private response, please email me your pieces. I would love to just give you a private response. So that's fine. You can email me at LoriTom@LoriT.com. For group response, you guys could also, in the watch party or on the blog, you could just post your entire piece. You could even just take a picture of it and put it in there. And then me and other people in our group can tell you cherry lines. One of the best ways to give response is just to say back or type back in a comment the exact line that you love. So for example, let's say I read Nina's piece and she's got a line up here right now. I am the drumbeat that rings strength, relentlessness, and harmony. Okay, I could put that in my comment replying to her. So it's none of my words. I would just say back, write back her comment. I could do the same for Carrie's. I am the muddy Bud Light years you snuck in my purse while it hung, waiting for my departure. She has a toddler. I am the speedometer, too far right because you are waiting. Oh, awesome. Awesome. All right. These are so beautiful, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing those lines. makes me happy. So anyway, you can do private response that will be on no Facebook page, just between you and me. I would love to do that. Email me those. For group response, you can put things in comments. The other thing that would be super awesome is if I can figure out a way to get you on this broadcast, you could read your piece. Or you could send me your piece and I could read it, and then people could give comments back what they think are your cherry lines. That could be, to me, that would be really, really fun. And just to let you know, I have giveaways. For people who let me read their whole piece, I have giveaways. Just a little temptation there. So I'm going to close right now. We are right at the 45-minute mark. Thank you so, so much. I know I'll get better with these as I continue to learn kind of this format. I hope you have a wonderful writing day. I'm looking forward to seeing people on the blog and in the writing party. Nina and Carrie, thank you so much for your comments. The cloud shapes floating above me, I'm not sure if that was Nina or Carrie, but whomever that was, thank you so much for that comment. I should get this posted up on my blog in just a hot minute. Our next class is March 12th. Put it on your calendar. I'm going to hide this comment so you can see it, and we'll go solo with that. Same time, same place. Thank you so much. Bye. Keep writing. Keep writing.